Hey everybody, it's the Review Revolution back at you again with another Double Feature Friday. And I gotta tell you, after how well or how much it seems everybody really enjoyed the Marvel Select, Borders exclusive, Iron Man 2 Mark IV armor, I went on back to Borders to take a look and see what else they might have had. And waiting for me was nothing other than the Marvel Select, Iron Man 2, Warmachine. RHODEY. Now, we just did a review of the Marvel Legends Warmachine, which was actually really cool because of all the great accessories he had. Really showed off the fact that he was a mobile, man-like tank. We'll have to take a look and see if Warmachine here from Marvel Select comes out the same. But regardless, this one looks cool. Just really great. No doubt, probably the main reason I'm going to see Iron Man 2 is to see Warmachine. Yes, I mean, there's the scene of Tony wearing his Mark V armor. We'll get to see the Mark VI. And Robert Downey Jr. he just plays Tony Stark so well. But really, watching RHODEY kick ass in the Warmachine armor is going to be just awesome. Taking a look at the pack. Now, this is pretty much the same kind of packaging that we got from, well, most of the Marvel Legends, really, but particularly with the Mark IV armor with the Iron Man 2 logo. As you saw, we've got the great portrait on the side of Warmachine. Really, really impressive. And on the back, see the character, the Borg exclusive. There's the Mark VI, which hopefully they'll have next time I go look. The write-up. Created for James Rhodes by reverse engineering Tony Stark's Iron Man, the Warmachine armor differs from its predecessor not only in terms of color, but also possesses more destructive weapons and raw fire power. Forced to choose between following orders and helping his friend, Rhodes must decide once and for all where his loyalties lie. I think that's actually a really, really great looking figure. But yeah, thank you, Diamond Select. I actually put them in my intro because I love what they do. But let's not wait any longer. Let's take a moment. Let's pop Warmachine out of the pack and have some fun. Be right back. All right, everybody. We've got Warmachine out of the box, and well, let's talk about it. The first thing straight out of the pack you'll probably realize, or you'll probably see, is that, of course, Warmachine, RHODEY, he doesn't have the metallic paint. It's just basically a gray and silver paint colors, but no actual metallics on there. So we can take a little bit of more handling without having to worry about being chipped or flaked or anything like that. The armor, I'm not too sure why, but it looks like the armor doesn't quite line up on the back right. I've tried to play around with the articulation a bit, but I don't think there is any at the top, though it is so tight in joints that I can't say for sure. This arm I did get to move. This one, whenever I move it, it feels more like I'm twisting the plastic and less like I'm moving the arm. So this right arm, I've got some real worries about. He's got the articulation at the elbows, which is great. The hands, which are on ball joints and do pop off. The legs, just like the Mark IV armor, the legs don't really move much. There is articulation at the knee and some at the foot. But Warmachine, actually, the joints on Warmachine are really, really tight. This is something where I think a hairdryer is what it takes to get it, broken in without broken. On the face, on the sculpt on the face, really, really nice. One thing I do like about movie figures, especially recently, and Ghostbusters is a great example lately, is that when there is a character from a movie that's made into a figure, there's a lot more effort to make sure that actor is properly depicted. And RHODEY is no exception. It looks really, really great. You can see that just like with the Mark IV armor, the mask does peg on top of his head, like so. The problem is that the mask is very, very small. And so when you peg it onto his face, you can actually see it doesn't quite cover all the way. One side is going to be kind of peeking out from the other. From the front, it looks good. At the front, it's a really, really great look of Warmachine. But, yeah, it doesn't quite cover the entire face like Iron Man does. Which is, a little disappointing, considering that this is not the exclusive figure. This is probably one that's going to be showing up in your local comic shop and so forth. I would figure this one would have had a little more care taken into it, whereas the exclusive might have been a little more slapdash. But apparently not. In the way of his accessories, he does have two. One is the chain gun. And you can see up at the top of his backpack, it does peg in. Now this is really, really loose also, so getting this to peg in properly has been a bit of a chore. Like so. But he didn't come with any rocket launchers or anything like that. He's got the guns, mounted on his forearms, which looks really cool. Again, I'm telling you, this is going to be a great, great movie. Just from the way, or from what I can see on these figures, and it's just going to be awesome. But his second accessory will be a diorama base, which the paint here, it's kind of got dry brushing over it, and some of the paint got over onto the door. I guess it doesn't really matter a whole lot if you're not particular about it, but it just kind of goes along with everything else on Warmachine, that it's a little more disappointing, or actually it's a lot more disappointing than you would expect. I mean, this is something where this is a key character for the movie. I really would have liked him to turn out better, and he didn't. So really, I mean, when it comes to Marvel Select figures, they're all great. And don't get me wrong, this is an awesome figure. I mean, the sculpt on it, the way it looks, again, the plates and everything else, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But when you compare him to the Mark IV armor, it doesn't even. I mean, you can't even really compare them. He's just not as good. And considering he's the big draw for me in the movie, I wish he had been better. But hope you enjoyed the review. Certainly rate, comment, subscribe, join the revolution, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.